All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Reader. So I wanted to take a look at Sandal, SNDL, and HITI just a little sooner than I normally do because there's some interesting things going on right here for sure. All right, this is almost as textbook as a doji can get. All right, and I always say really important things generally happen the next day. All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about what's going to go on here, but really quickly, what are we going to do? Same thing we always do, right? We're going to take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how this thing is setting up short term. We do have our 5 moving averages, the horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And then when we're done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please like, subscribe, share, comment. Look, anything you can do really does help with the YouTube algorithms. But for real, just being here and giving me your time is super, super appreciated, all right? And look, I'm not perfect. I'm not all-knowing. If you've got better opinions than me, I would very much love to hear them, all right? So look, let's get into it. And again, there's some interesting things going on right here. All right. Obviously, it's all kind of coming off of this really, really hard rejection from the 100, and ultimately, I think it's that lack of bank, right? Lack of safe act, whatever it was going to be that we were all kind of expecting, right? So again, buy the rumor, sell the news. That's a very, very famous quote, and it's for a reason, right? So immediately though, look. This is really important, and this is today's candle. I rarely talk about candles. I'm not here to talk about candle shapes and patterns, right? But a doji, especially one this textbook, because like look what today happened, right? There were some people that thought, all right, that's it, we are gonna run, we're gonna actually break the 8 moving average and like hopefully go back to this 100 and like reattempt it, right? There were some other people that were like, no, you know what, this thing is actually coming back down to both of these moving averages, maybe even worse, right? And then end of the day it decided, look, we're pretty much gonna open and close. Let me just actually look at that. The open was at 165, the close was at 165, right? I just need a couple more decimals to see where it is. But literally, the way I see that is people are like, look, let's just see what tomorrow wants to do. And either we're going to break the 8 and fly, or honestly, we might be running down to 160, maybe even as low as 155 down here, okay? Couple things obviously jumping out, right? So green easily can turn into red, right? We've made a nice little plateau right here. There's a decent going horizontal right there, right? But yeah, this plateau right here, and like, no, I think I'll take this 50%. Yeah, 153 just kind of seems like where this thing might actually want to go, because I'll be honest, that is not a good RSI. It does look like the MACD is kind of running out of juice, and I don't know if it's going to slip under just like the RSI did. And the last few times we've broken the 50 moving average, it's been selling volumes, right? That's a good green, that's a good green, that's an all, like that breaks the line, that pretty much breaks the line, right? So I'm just worried tomorrow might see a pretty scary sell. And look, in general, honestly, regardless of the stock, I always kind of think Friday's going to be a bad day. I don't know why. I think people are ready to go into the weekend a little early, whatever it might be, right? But I kind of always assume Friday's going to be a loser. You know what I mean? So I'm a little worried here for sure. But again, it could very, very easily break this 169. And look, green, red, green. Like this thing would want to go back up to 184 if it could get over 170. All right. I just don't know if it's going to get over 170. I just kind of feel like 155 seems a little more realistic, at least based on these indicators down here. So, look, the weekly's not doing what I wanted it to do, right? Because again, we very beautifully break the 8. We were looking for the confirmation to go up, and again, red should have been an easy ride up, but we're now kind of working our way down. Now again, I'm okay with doji, let's wait till the next week to decide, right? So maybe we do actually end up just kind of staying here even tomorrow. Maybe we don't do that drastic, and that I think might come down to like a 160 instead of that 155, right? But next week should be telling, or shit, it'll give us another doji. What am I going to say, right? But I think I'm a little more pessimistic here than I am really optimistic. So high tide. Let's take a look at high tide. And yeah, again, look, there was optimism going in, right? But Let me just zoom out. I know it kind of looks like a lot of lines. So look, no, actually, let me zoom back in. First and foremost, I know I have a bunch of my white ones here, but 1, 2, 3, 4 of the 5 moving averages are now just starting to get tight again. All right. And again, you know, I hate moving average clusters. I really, really do. All right. That said, I mentioned this on the last video. I'm going to say it again, and I have to zoom out just to remind. This is a really, and it is the older of the two, right? Because this one's still on top. This one is a very, very old downtrend, all right? So I'm glad we're at least still on the better side of this line, all right? End of the day, I actually think maybe it's now more about the 50 moving average than this line, but shit, we're still on the better side of the downtrend, and I'll take that, right? I don't want to go slip back under and then go even worse and then potentially slip back under this one, right? That would be ugly. We're clearly under this downtrend, this uptrend, right? So I don't think it's really worth even pulling it back just yet. Let's see where the next green candle comes. But end of the day, look, I mean, we got to get over the 8 and the 20. You know, bad things happen under the 8 and the 20. Definitely want to get over 132. And you know, it's funny. My like point of entry keeps going lower and lower as this thing goes. But I'm dying for this thing to get over the 200 moving average, the last of the things, and just go. You know what I mean? So I'm going to delete this line. I don't think I need it anymore because look, end of the day, this is pretty much where the 100 moving average is sitting. And yeah, I think that clears up a lot of what's going on. I don't need any horizontal lines because there's literally all 5 moving averages right there, right? So look, break the 200 and fly, lose the 50 and die. I do not like that we're closer to the lose the 50 and die than the break here. And as I'm zooming out, it's a little easier to see that it looks like the 8 moving average is actually kind of coming down now. So and then that's definitely not a good RSI. MACD wants to slip into the negative the way I see it, right? Like yeah, as you zoom in, you can see it more. Like this is starting to get a little worrisome, but look, ooh, excuse me, a little hiccup. As long as we're over the 50, I think we're okay. Honestly, slipping under this line but holding the 50, I'm all right with. And we're kind of getting to the point where that's actually going to be really hard to do. And then once it goes that way, right? Like you gotta hold the 50, all right, for sure. And to that, can I like adjust this? No, I'm not gonna fuck with it because I don't want to fuck with the line. But one more time, just to make sure, cannot lose the 50 moving average on high tide. All right. Look at that. That's a doji on the weekly, right? I think next week's going to be pretty telling. And where are we on 50% candle? Yeah, we might be coming to 126. It'd be really bad to lose 126 because that could be a really quick drop to 116. Optimism starting to fade a little bit here. Hopefully things pick up a little bit. And it's interesting because the markets are doing well, right? So I'm expecting most things to do well, and the fact that these ones isn't great. I normally do the Tilly and ACB video first. I did this one just more of my schedule for today, but I'm actually really curious to see how those two are. Look, in general, I've got no money in the weed stocks just yet. I am dying to get back in once it looks like these things are good, but yeah, it's just, you know, the lines do the work for me. You know that, right? So I appreciate your time more than you know. Thank you, thank you, thank you.